Hi, I'm Kerry with Best of Us Investors. If you've been to my channel before, you probably have seen this chart here that I'm going to show you that basically gives you the history of the stock market since I was born in 1944 and how events create change, and that change is then facilitated by different companies to create the world that we're going to live in tomorrow. And it goes all the way back to the internet revolution, which produced Google and Apple and Microsoft, and then the e-commerce revolution, which produced Amazon, and the social media, which produced Facebook, and now we're in the electric vehicle, which produced Tesla. And the adoption of this technology just speeds up faster and faster. I did a video yesterday that addressed the dead money, the fact that if you invest early, sometimes it takes time for your money to turn into profits because the technology has to catch up with the innovation. Well, we're in that same situation again. And I think what's important is you just got to pay attention to what is about to happen. Now, in my life, Nita and I, every Sunday, we record Sunday Morning with Jane Polly on CBS, and we watch it because one reason, it's entertaining, it's educational, but to me, I figure out what might happen next. And Jane did, or they did, a piece that I want you to listen to the words that Jane says as she introduces this piece.
Lithium-ion batteries. Ben Tracy tells us more about lithium, the new oil.
Yeah, lithium is the words. So what I want you to think through is 2% of the automobiles sold in the world today are all electric. And to move those automobiles, you have to have batteries. To have those batteries work, you have to have lithium. So lithium is very, very important. Now what we need to know is what is the lithium situation and how is it evolving, and who are the companies that are going to present us lottery stock opportunities, that's a word I used from yesterday's video, so that we can invest in them today in their infancy and then profit in the future. And in essence, how far is the future? Well, we know that Joe has just gotten a bill passed to build our infrastructure, to build our electric charging stations, to bring manufacturing back to the United States. So it's not all that far off, but who's going to make it possible? And that's what I want to talk about in this video. There is an opportunity here to jump in on a company, and it has more to do with or in addition to electric vehicles. Once again, it has to do with our national security. So let's explore that in this video and see if we can find another lottery ticket that we can cash in the next 3 to 5 years for big, big gains. Be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
In the mountains of northern Nevada, the fuel of the future lies in the shadow of the past.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that 16 million years ago, this was the site of a giant volcanic eruption.
This area is called Thacker Pass, and volcanologist Tom Benson has been searching the world for places just like it. He says an eruption here millions of years ago left behind the keys to unlock the electric vehicle revolution. It's called lithium, the lightest solid element on that chart most of us only periodically remember from high school chemistry. Rechargeable lithium-ion batteries are what power our cell phones, computers, even toothbrushes, and are now the fuel for all those electric vehicles starting to roll off the assembly line.
Okay, before we go any further, let's roll the clock back and see what this opportunity might look like. Let's go back to 1910. In Detroit, a guy by the name of Henry Ford has been making cars basically one at a time, and he's creating an assembly line. And 3 years later, in 1913, he starts rolling Fords off the end of the assembly line, and you have the opportunity to buy an oil company. Do you think you'd want to jump in? Do you think there's more profits and more future in owning the oil, of which there is a limited supply, or knowing now that it's 1913 and by 1919 there will be over 1,900 automobile manufacturers in the United States? I suspect that same thing's going to happen in the electric vehicle business. So the profits of the future of the electric vehicle business may not be in the vehicles. It'll be in the technology, but it'll also be in the batteries and the lithium that make those batteries. What we need to understand is who's going to be mining that lithium out there in Nevada, and who's going to be processing it, and what's the current situations, and how does this relate to other elements that are going on in the United States right now, such as national security. Let's take a look.
Benson works for Lithium Americas, a mining company that owns the rights to Thacker Pass, the largest known lithium deposit in the United States. The company expects to potentially extract 80,000 tons of lithium a year. That's enough to power about 1 million vehicles.
So none of this looks particularly high-tech.
No, it's not. I mean,
Jonathan Evans is president of the company.
It's really the blood in a battery. Without it, the batteries won't work.
With automakers pledging to soon make most of their vehicles electric, lithium demand is expected to increase as much as tenfold in the next decade. Right now, most of it is mined in Chile and Australia, and almost all of it is processed in China. The Department of Energy has released a national blueprint for lithium batteries. It says relying on other countries creates a strategic vulnerability for the U.S. economy.
Okay, what are the takeaways there? One, all the lithium that is being processed in China, and that we have a national security issue that evolves around that, and that the United States has a plan to make sure that that national security issue is addressed. So I think there's a lot of momentum here to make sure that American lithium is successful and is buying or is going to be in a position to fulfill our needs. Now, what I know from a Seeking Alpha article that I recently read, that American Lithium is in the process of buying more land out there, more lithium-rich land, so that they can beef up their operations. So I see this as one of those lottery stocks that I've talked about yesterday that may be dead money for a while. I suspect as a result of yesterday's program, and those of us who saw it and recognized the potential, you're going to see a bump up in price on American lithium here in the near future, probably today. But this is a real opportunity. Again, I say to you, if in fact you had the foresight to invest in oil when the internal combustion automobile was being brought forward, would you be in a good position today? Yeah, except that they're going to be replaced by lithium batteries. But what's important is paying attention to what's going on. So let's look a little deeper into this.
Lithium Americas admits there will be environmental impacts, but claims new mining technology will lead to less damage. The company plans to begin its operation next year.
If you believe in climate change, if you are worried about competitiveness, if we're worried about jobs being lost, then assets like this, development like this in the U.S. is necessary.
Okay, there you have it. So where do we go from here? Well, my move is that I just bought 300 shares of Lithium Americas. And my next move is I'm seeking to find somebody who knows more about it than I do. I have a relationship with Seeking Alpha. You might have seen that I did a video just Sunday on Netlist where I interviewed Jacob Braun, who gave us some insights into the legal matters around Netlist, and it's up 7% today, probably as a result of my video. So what I'm going to do is I've identified another Seeking Alpha author who knows a lot about, he's been following Lithium Americas for quite a few months, and he's written some articles about their attempted and successful acquisitions of additional property, and he probably has a better handle on the timeline. So I've written him, and I'm going to seek that's interesting, seeking a Seeking Alpha author to have an interview so that I can share his insights with you and we can make a better investment decision relative to lithium and the batteries and our national security and another lottery stock. So that's what I'm doing. What can you do? Well, you can give your comments in the comment section about what you know about this company and what you know about the whole battery and any competition they might have. And then if you want to get deeper into it, go to bestofusinvestors.com, give me your name and your email address, and I'll send you an invitation to join our Discord. At our Discord, that's where our tribe meets. That's where we put our heads together to find things like this so that we can invest in the future. We're not interested in what's going to happen today and what Jerome Powell's going to do next week, and what the profit and loss statements are, because this company has no profits, and it won't have any profits, but it is a lottery ticket. And it's an educated lottery ticket, and that's how I'm going to exponentially grow my portfolio, by paying attention to what's going on in the world around me and the opportunities that the change in the world around me are going to bring to me. Now, what I know about this is I'm a 1%er, probably even less than a 1%er. Most of you are doing day trading and swing trading, and this has nothing to do with that. This has a way of fixing the lottery so that you can, like me, become a multimillionaire. That's my goal. Build family wealth. Someone said to me the other day in one of my comments, Kerry, you can't take it with you. I don't want to take it with me. I want to leave it behind. I want to make the world, I want to make my family better off because of my astute knowledge of how the stock market works and how I, Kerry Grinkmeyer, who could barely graduate from high school, recognized his opportunity to invest in people who are smarter than him, who have insights that he doesn't have, and all he has to do is pay attention. Hell, Jane Pauley told me about this.
Lithium-ion batteries. Ben Tracy tells us more about lithium, the new oil.